Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric SuperCar channel. This week we're going to talk about cooling and begin the battery box construction. Let's get to it. For today's sponsor, we have an EV charger from the company Endemann. One thing I love about the portable ones is you get a nice carrying case. Look at that. This portable charger is a 32 amp charger. Looks like really good quality. That looks really good. Love the dust cover. Boom. Looks really nice. All right, this one also has a wall mount. So even though it is portable, you can kind of just hang it up and it can be right where you need it on your wall. This has also got the wall mount for the charger handle. All right, remember last time we got the wall mounted version? Now this one is the portable version. So again, nice carrying case. We're gonna go ahead and hook it in right here, see if we can connect it with the app. So right there, power's on. The bag weighs less than 10 pounds. As you can see, 25 feet means I can park in a whole separate garage bay and have the charge port way at the back. All right, so this is the fun to see if it can stretch all the way. I've got it here in this bay of the garage, and we're trying to see if it can go into that other bay all the way at the back. We are in. All right, so this one, we did not have to do anything with the app. We just plugged it in and it started working. It's the Smart Life app. And I've not done anything. I've obviously downloaded the app because I've got the other wall mounted charger before, but I didn't have to do anything. I think it already picked this one up and we're there. And you can see here, the app reports all the necessary information. Again, the voltage, the current, how much power we've got. We will go ahead and stop charging. You heard it click. There it is, it's off. And we'll go ahead and start. Heard it click. And there, you hear it on. You see it climbing up. Perfect. So I have reviewed quite a few of these chargers, and I think this is one of my favorite apps. It's just the easiest to hook up, and I think that's kind of the most stressful for everybody, is to try and get it to talk or work. This one, basically, you just open the app and it finds it for you. So it's really easy. All the convenience features are there. The Smart App Control has remote control, set timing, current adjustment, current time management, and charging statistics. So if you're looking for a portable EV charger, I'll put a link in the video description below. For those of you who are new, I've got a build here. It's a Porsche.
At this time, and after careful consideration, I've decided to take my talents to Porsche.
And we're gonna make it all-wheel drive with dual motors. And the part we're in the build right now is we are building the battery boxes. So today we're gonna talk about cooling. I decided to actually integrate my cooling into the structure itself. So I've got some thick aluminum plates that have copper tubing inside of them. This will both serve as cooling as well as the structure. So the way this works is it'll have coolant flowing through these copper tubes, and this will allow to heat or cool the batteries as needed. So in my build, we've got, I'm gonna call it 3 battery boxes. They're all kind of in the same place, but I've broken them up just by structure. We've got 1 battery box that's gonna go kind of just around the rear bumper, and then 2 that are gonna go in where the engine was. These are the plates for the battery box. So we're gonna take a look here. So this is the middle plate. This will go in between 2 sets of batteries, and this is copper tube. Very nice. So these are the 3 big ones. One's on bottom, one's in the middle, one's on top. We also have some side plates. These are the sides, one left, one right. All right, I thought I'd show you these cooling plates that I've got. Basically, the way that this is machined is it's a piece of aluminum, and they'll take, I'll call it like a ball end mill, and mill out this slot. And then they get tubing, they bend the tubing to fit the slot, put the tubing in, and it's not even all the way down. It actually sticks up just a little bit. And then they'll put some thermal epoxy on, and then they press everything flat. So basically this is not a true circle, it's kind of like a D, like the top gets flat, bottom's still a circle. But then they'll kind of just clean everything up, and that's what it looks like, and it conducts heat really well. We've got variations of these in all the battery packs. All right, I have some of these strips. These will actually keep the batteries from moving forward and back. So I've got them on both sides, top and bottom. I wonder if these big heads are gonna cause issues. Yeah, they're gonna cause problems. So the flange sticks out a little too far that way. Also the head sticks a little too far up. So I'll probably get a pan head. I think I might have a few of those around. If not, I'll just order some. Black oxide coating, zinc coating. So this one's got a narrower profile in the height and also just slightly on the diameter as well. So these threaded rods will go in these holes. That'll kind of help locate and again kind of help keep them down. Again, not compress, but just kind of keep them down and in place. So I've got these washers that have rubber on them. So that's gonna help kind of isolate a little bit of the vibrations. I'm gonna lock things in place with these nuts.
These nuts? Got him!
Did I say that right? These nuts? Got him! I'm really not looking to compress the plates, really just to make sure that they're on there and that they're not going anywhere. I should also mention these are rated to be watertight. So again, when you compress them down, the rubber expands and kind of seals things up. But because I've got to take these on and off so many times, I'm not going to do that just yet. So I had these cooling plates made, the heat sinks, and asked them to put some barbs on. These are probably some of the longest barbs I've ever seen. So we are going to have to cut some of these down so the tubing can actually be attached and then curve around. I'm gonna go ahead and do a leak test on these, make sure there's no leaks. All right, so I just have these looped on themselves. I'll put the pressure in here. I'll probably block this one with my thumb, spray everything down, and look for bubbles. I think it looks pretty good. I don't see much of anything. Try again. All right, here we are with block number 2. Oh. Surprise, surprise, I think they're good. So I can shorten these a little bit, tidy them up, but that is all the coolant lines that we need. Essentially the top row of all the plates go into this one, the bottom row goes that, so one will be inlet, the other one will be outlet. But man, that is a lot of tubing. It should tuck all nicely though behind everything, but yeah, that is a lot. Here is the rear battery box. It'll fit just kind of behind that bumper there. What I need to do now is I need to start fitting things up. For example, I need to put the plug in, but in order to do all that, I need to drill some holes. So the company I went with, they didn't drill holes, I'll call it, on the end of these big long plates. Just didn't, I guess, work in their mill or anyway. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line these up. I've got a drill bushing that I'm gonna use and kind of do some pilot holes and then do some taps. So we'll kind of get things in place and start drilling and tapping. All right, we are just about there. So I put these on, these are cable glands. So again, the thought is for a panel or something, you can put these on, run cables through, in this case, a cooling tube, and kind of tighten it down. It's got kind of this rubber ring there that kind of tightens around it, creates a seal. So that's there. This is on top, that's on bottom. The reason why this is not flipped over is because then I don't have to do additional cable glands or sealing. I can just still get a sealing surface underneath it. So that's how that one's gonna be. We got thermistors and cell taps, high voltage, and then same thing on this side. Thermistors, cell taps, and high voltage. So this guy's just about done. One thing I have not done yet, so you see I've got these holes here. I've got these threaded rods, they'll thread down through here, and I'll put some nuts and things on. These will also act as hoist points if I can do that. I've got some hardware that will attach to that as well. And it'll also keep it, my thought is to put some nuts on either side of the middle plate, so again it doesn't move relative to anything. So everything will be secured down. I just wanted to get everything set, make sure we liked it. So I think everything's looking pretty good. Some of these holes right here I'll just kind of fill up maybe with some epoxy or something just to make sure everything's kind of weather-proof. And then I'll probably disassemble, sand everything, and get it ready for, I'm gonna do some truck bed liner to kind of coat everything, protect it from the elements. All right, here is the center battery box. Again, on this one, we're gonna go ahead and drill holes, all the places that need it. All right, here is this battery box kind of all buttoned up. Again, I don't have the center threaded rods yet. I've still got some wiring things to do, but you've got the plug and where the cooling will enter. These are cell taps as well as thermistors. Same thing on this side, cell taps, thermistors, coolant, and high voltage. So this is the middle battery box. We've got one more to go.
Not sure exactly what that is. Maybe just some salt deposits or something like that from being in the crate and getting wet.
So this is what I'm calling the front battery box. It actually just has 6 battery modules, so 2, 2, and 2. This section here I'm kind of designating as kind of a high voltage, I'll call it like a contactor box. That's where the contactors will be, fuses, a lot of the junctions for other high voltage things will be in this area. This might be one of the better ways to demonstrate the cooling or to show the cooling. So here's a battery module and it's got all these cells, and all the cells are oriented vertically. So this is a cell right here. And we've got cooling plates on the top and the bottom, essentially to try and cool from the bottom and cool from the top. That's, I think, the best we can do with these particular battery modules. There are other battery modules that actually have cooling elements like aluminum plates in between each cell. That would also be good. They all have their advantages and disadvantages. That way you've actually got a large surface area right on the cell itself, but you also have a harder time because it's just such a thin piece of aluminum getting, kind of extracting all the heat. So here you've got a big piece of aluminum, got a lot of capability of extracting heat, but it's not in between each cell. Nevertheless, I think this will work really well. I'm really excited. I will likely do a time lapse. So while the time lapse is going, I'm going to show you kind of what I'm doing right here. Because the company was not able to put holes or threaded holes in the end, what I'm having to do is drill them myself. So what I've got here is this is a drill bushing, and it's sized just so it fits in here just perfectly. And what that allows me to do is drill a pilot hole. So I kind of make sure it's all lined up. So once I have the pilot hole, this really just locates the hole in the right position. I then go to my tap drill size. And then I go to my tap. And just like that, that's how we get the threads. I have used on occasion this. This is a tap guide or drill guide. It's kind of recessed here, which allows some of the chips to pile up, but it's long enough that when you're drilling and things, it doesn't wander too far. All right, here is what I'm calling the front battery box. It is all done. Again, I've got some of these threaded rods that I'm gonna have to cut and position and such. And then here I've got, again, the cable glands and where the tubing is gonna come out. I didn't put in the high voltage connectors yet, but one will go right here. This is going in, so this will be like, I don't know, 300 or so volts going in. And then it ramps up with the other batteries to 400 volts. This is the most negative, and so this one will come out and go to the very first battery pack. So I'll tell you a couple things. You may be wondering why it's jogged. Let me show you in the car. All right, so I'm in the engine bay of the car. That is towards the front. Those are the rear tires. That's my motor mount. And so basically what it is I want the battery as far that way as we can. And as you see, as we go up, it kind of starts to curve in. Let me see if I can see that better. So basically, as you go up, it curves in. I want that one as far this way as possible. So that first one kind of sits there, and then it comes up there. And then actually the main battery pack, calling that one the main one. So you got the first section, then the second section, then the main battery box even sits kind of, so it's kind of like steps, because the whole motor bay is kind of curved that way. We also need to leave room for the motor, which is going to sit here. Things that I messed up on all the other ones except for this very top plate, I had threads for these. I'm going to call these battery retainers. So the battery retainer would go here and here. And that would essentially, I'd bolt those down and it would make it so it couldn't really slide left or right. For whatever reason, these are through holes and they are bigger than the tap size. So I'm gonna get some threaded inserts or helicoils or something so I can get those fixed. Other problems, I'll just say there's a lot of places where I've got threaded rod placements that are not ideal. Meaning I think what I'm gonna have to do in a couple places, I'm gonna actually have to like notch it out a little bit. I think that's fine. I mean, goodness, it's a 1/2 inch rod, so we got plenty of strength. I designed the battery box prior to getting into charging, and I'm gonna go with CCS charging. What that is the fast charging, and that requires extra contactors and an extra high voltage components. And so I'm gonna be a little space constrained there. I might need a separate box, high voltage box, or I'll see if I can kind of cram it all in there. So that's another thing that I would have loved to change. I would have loved to have all the holes drilled threaded. That's a lot of time. The other one on this, I've got some of the connectors and things that are going to come out the bottom, which I think will, once it's in the vehicle, will be nice, but here it's somewhat challenging, so I've kind of got it up on stilts, if you will. The other thing I may have done differently here, you can see it's just a jumbled mess of the cooling lines. So again, I may have found a way to kind of stack these the other way, like I did with these other boxes where they kind of, the cooling just comes out the side. Here we've got a jumbled mess, but it'll probably work out just fine in the end. Main battery box over there, we're calling that the front battery box. I don't know why, but the main one's gonna sit right on top of that. And then this one is the rear battery box. So we had a lot of battery box fun, a lot of assembly. I think all the cooling will work. I'm liking the integrated cooling. It's kind of integrated into the structure, so that's nice. We're now going to get into the actual high voltage. So the wiring and the bus bars and things that we connect next will be the high voltage. So that'll be coming soon. That'll do it for this time. See you next time.
Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, you're a mother.
Oh, buddy.